What up, humans? Kurumi here, and welcome to the Mobile Legends Bootcamp. Bootcamps are usually made when there is request from the higher-ups for a bootcamp of a hero that has been already made. Bootcamps will have the most up-to-date information. So, in this video, we are going to talk about the tank hero, Belerick. Belerick has a good set of area of effect, movement speed buff, healing, and crowd control skills. Our guard of nature, Belerick, is a tank hero. I consider Belerick as a crowd control tank hero, since his skills can definitely be used to control enemies during team fights. Not only that, his second skill can help you in chasing enemies to finish them off. Now, let me share some tips and tricks on how to use Belerick based on my experience. We will also teach you some combos and techniques on the latter part of this bootcamp. But before that, let me explain his skills one by one for further understanding. Belerick's passive, Deadly Thorns, lets Belerick deal damage towards a direction by chance. For every 50 damage inflicted on Belerick, there is a 25% chance that he whips his vines towards the direction of the nearest enemy unit. Enemy units hit along the path will receive certain amount of magic damage, depending on a percentage of Belerick's max health points. This passive skill can only be triggered once per 0.4 seconds according to the description. This may change in future releases depending on Montan. Also, health points obtained from equipments is increased by 15%. Belerick's first skill, Ancient Seed, lets Belerick release his vines in a designated direction. Enemies hit by the vines will receive a certain amount of magic damage. They will also have their movement speed reduced. Meanwhile, he leaves Ancient Seed on the path. These seeds will sprout after a second, and will deal a certain amount of magic damage to enemies on the path. Enemies hit by the seed sprout will be taunted towards Belerick for a short period. This skill deals more damage to minions. Belerick's second skill, Nature's Strike, increases Belerick's movement speed and enhances his next basic attack. Upon using this skill, Belerick will have his movement speed increased. Not only that, his next basic attack is enhanced. Upon hitting an enemy target with his enhanced basic attack, the enemy will receive a certain amount of magic damage and will slow down the target. Also, Belerick will regenerate a percentage of his lost health points upon hitting an enemy target. Belerick's ultimate skill, Wrath of Dryad, lets Belerick cast vines around him. Enemies hit will be immobilized for a few seconds, and will receive damage for 4 times during the duration. This ultimate skill will be further discussed on the tips and tricks section. There are so many items that you can buy for Belerick. You can focus on items that grants defense, health points, and regeneration effects to Belerick. You can consider the hard build if you want to be extra durable in team fights, instead of dealing extra small damage to enemies. Considering the War Machine build will help your team on their ganking needs. But let's talk about the Kurumi way further. If you prefer more into roaming, then you can consider buying Courage Mask first. This item grants health points and cooldown reduction. One of its unique attributes grants additional movement speed. One of its unique active skill, Courage, lets you and allies near you to be boosted with additional movement speed. This lasts for a few seconds. This will also increase yours and your allies' physical and magic attack. This unique active skill has a really long cooldown. Another unique passive of this skill is Bravery. This increases your physical and magic attack, physical and magic defense, and your health points and mana regeneration for all nearby allies. Another unique passive of this item is Devotion. This grants you additional gold and experience every 4 seconds. But the catch is, you won't gain gold or experience when killing minions or monsters if a teammate is near you for the first 6 minutes of the game. Another unique passive of this item is Thriving. This lets you gain extra experience and gold with every assist you make. When you are ranked 5th on the gold rank of your team, the gold granted by devotion is modified and you will now receive 20 gold every 4 seconds. Same goes with the experience granted every 4 seconds. You will be granted 35 experience per 4 seconds when you are the 5th rank in the experience or level department. This is a really good item, especially Belerick is mostly a ganking tank. For your kicks, you can consider warrior boots. This item grants you additional physical defense and movement speed. Its unique passive grants additional physical defense as buff on each basic attack received. The physical defense received can stack and can reach to a maximum of 25 points. This lasts for a few moments. You might want to consider Oracle. This grants health points, magical defense, and cooldown reduction. Its unique passive raises shield absorption and HP regeneration effects by 25%. This can significantly boost the regeneration effects from your second skill and Revitalize spell. You might also want to consider Cursed Helmet. This item gives you massive health points and magic defense. Its unique passive deals magic damage equal to a percentage of maximum health points to nearby enemies per second. This damage increases against minions by 50%. You might also want to consider Concentrated Energy. It provides additional health points, magic power, and magical life steal. Its unique passive regenerates a percentage of your health upon killing an enemy hero. This is a great item since your skills deal magic damage, making you regenerate while your passive skill pops out every now and then. Lastly, you might also want to consider Queen's Wings. This item grants physical damage, health points, and cooldown reduction. Its unique passive reduces damage taken by 50% when your health is less than 40%, and also increases your physical lifesteal by 30%. This lasts for 5 seconds. This effect has a 50 seconds cooldown. The item build for Belerick really depends on the enemy's lineup. So make sure to read each item's description so you can adapt in-game. One of the best spells to be used on Belerick is Revitalize. This spell summons a healing spring. When you or your allies are in this healing spring, you will restore health every half second, depending on a percentage of your maximum health. It also enhances the shield and HP regen effect you receive. This healing spring lasts for a few seconds. You might also want to consider Vengeance. When this is active, enemies attacking you will be receiving certain points of magic damage back for each basic attack they deal to you. This lasts for a few seconds. In my opinion, you can use either custom tank emblem set or custom support emblem set. We recommend you to have the hard item build if you are choosing custom support emblem set. Custom support emblem set can increase your regeneration rate from your second skill, increase your regeneration rate and health points, and amplify the damage taken by the target from your teammates. But since we recommended the Kurumi way, we will further discuss on the custom tank emblem set. This emblem set is best when paired with the Kurumi way build. Custom tank emblem could provide extra stats according to your needs as a tank. Set firmness to its max level because it can give you additional physical defense. Higher physical defense means higher durability for you as a tank. Setting fortress to max level will provide additional physical defense percentage. Higher physical defense means more bonus physical defense you get tenacity to gain additional physical and magic defense. This is triggered when your health drops below 40%. For me, it's the best thing to get since you are a tank hero. Being a tank means you need to absorb damage for your teammates inside team fights. So, you need more defense to be able to stand your ground. Set second skill to max level first. Prioritizing this makes the health regeneration and base damage higher and the cooldown lower. That means you can use this skill more often to sustain in team fights. Prioritize first skill less since your second skill is what you need to sustain in team fights. Always upgrade his ultimate skill when available for upgrading. After Belerick got a revamp, his skills has now more crowd control to enemies. This kinda shifted his game somehow as he can now have the chance to be in the meta. With almost all of his skill having crowd control, Belerick would be one of the best tanks you can pick even on ranked matches. Belerick's passive skill is what you need to deal continuous damage to enemies, with the ability to trigger his vines to whip towards enemies by chance. Enemies will definitely think twice before hitting you. The more they hit you, the more chance your passive skill will be triggered towards them. With this skill, You can even fight against multiple enemies while taking down some of them. It is said on the skill description that this passive skill is only triggered once per 0.4 seconds. But if you look closely to this, can you still say that it is only triggered once per 0.4 seconds? I'll just leave this here for you to ponder on for eternity. Belerick's first skill is what you need to control enemies towards you, with the ability to slow them down and then taunt them afterwards. This will let them have more chance to trigger your passive skill's wrath. Taunting them means they will be forced to attack you, so basically, instead of having them attack your squishy teammates, you can taunt them so they will attack you instead, saving your teammate from the darkness and sorrow of this cruel world. Belerick's second skill is what you need to chase down enemies and sustain in team fights. With the ability to have your movement speed boosted, this will definitely help you chase enemies or escape death. This skill also regenerates your health from a percentage of your lost health upon hitting an enemy with your enhanced basic attack, meaning the more you are hurting, the more this skill will regenerate your health. This is really helpful, especially when going against multiple enemies at once. They will think of you as a human who doesn't think of his moves and does rash decisions. But fret not, with your passive skill and your second skill, this will help you sustain your health while dealing lots of damage to them. Belerick's ultimate skill is what you need in team fights, with the ability to immobilize the enemies around you. This will definitely give ample time for your teammates to focus their fire towards the enemies. When we demonstrated this skill earlier, we noticed that there is a delay on the immobilization. Take a look on the vines coming out of Belerick. You may notice that the vines take time to reach the outer radius of the area of effect. These vines are responsible on immobilizing your targets. This means that enemies in the area of effect will not be immobilized right after clicking the skill. Take a look when I use my ultimate skill. The time the Laylas were immobilized or different. This is because the vines that travels out from Belerick has yet to reach the target before immobilizing them. So, it is really recommended that before casting this skill, make sure that you are just beside your targets to get a sure immobilization. Here we are again with some of our experiments. Once again, we are here with our one and only lab rat, Rakuten, to demonstrate with us some pros and cons of Belerick. First off, let's have Belerick go against Odette. We all know that Belerick has lots of crowd control skills, and Odette's ultimate is a channeling skill. Let's check if my ultimate will cancel her ultimate skill channeling. As you can see, Odette's ultimate skill was not cancelled, meaning most of the channeling skill can't be stopped by Belerick's ultimate skill. Take note of that, okay? Now, why don't we try our first skill against Odette's ultimate skill? As you can see, Odette got taunted while singing the swan song. So we can conclude that Belerick's taunt from his first skill can stop channeling skills. Now, let's have Diggy. Diggy's ultimate skill can remove crowd control effects. Let's see if he can get out of our ultimate skill. As you can see, he was able to get out of the immobilization of our ultimate skill. How about from our taunt? Well, he was also able to get out of it. Now that we are here, why don't we try Purify against our taunt? Okay, so it also works. So we can therefore say that Diggy's ultimate skill in Purify can counter Belerick's crowd control. Now, for the last experiment, we have 1-1. Roddick used 1-1 instead since Rakuten does not have her. Poor lab rat. Anyway, 1-1's second skill can remove crowd control effects from her. Let's try if she can get out from our ultimate skill. As expected, she was able to get out of it. How about the taunt from our first skill? She was still able to get out of the taunt. By the way, we noticed that 1-1's passive can help her dodge Belerick's passive skill. Some of the vines hit while some of it don't. So, we still think that Belerick will have a hard time against 1-1. In terms of team fights, we usually follow this simple combo for Belerick. First, we use his second skill. This will give a speed boost for the meantime. Then, when we are beside most of the enemies, we cast our ultimate skill. This will immobilize most of the enemies in a short while. Then, we use his first skill. This will slow down enemies, and taunt them if they got hit by the seed sprout. Then, if you have vengeance, use it while they are taunted. Taunting them will make them attack you against their will. Then, continue on dealing basic attacks and skill whenever available. They will also be punished by your passive skill when they deal damage to you. If you have Revitalize, use it when you think it's the proper time to use it. Then, watch the enemies closely as they get eaten by the ground because of your vines. Additional tip. You might be wondering why we didn't recommend Athena's shield. Well, we did some testing beforehand and we found out that when Belerick has a shield, there is no chance that his passive skill will be triggered. We tried it for 5 times while he has the shield from Athena's shield, but sad to say, his passive was not triggered during those times. So we opt not to recommend items and spells that generates shield. The tips I mentioned are just some of the ways you can use Belerick. This video just guides you on how to use Belerick the Kurumi way. We would like to thank our Wakandian lab rat, Rakuten, for being our lab rat for this bootcamp. You can search for him in-game and tell him how much you appreciate him, willing to sacrifice his pride and honor just to be a test subject. He loves receiving chocolate agates and some Angela dolls, or just even likes. Thank you, Rakuten. So, once again, this is Kurumi and that's how you use Belerick. Thanks for watching. Do not forget to like and share this video. Also subscribe to our channel for more contents by clicking on the subscribe button below. For our skin giveaway events, check out the community tab for the giveaway event post. We have our Ko-fi account just in case you want to donate us some coffee funds. Check our Ko-fi link on the description of this video. Please, only trust Bootcamp videos from our official accounts. See you on the next Mobile Legends Bootcamp. Cheers.